They said Drift Shore had died years ago, swallowed by silence and soaked in blood. The beach was closed, forgotten, but some stories have a way of calling back the curious. Rango didn't come for trouble, he came to escape it. But this place, it doesn't let anyone walk away untouched. Rango stood at the edge of the broken world-splintered boardwalk beneath his feet. The ocean whispering secrets it never meant to keep. The wind tasted like rust, and even the seagulls flew crooked here. Something old still lingered beneath the waves, watching. Inside the dim bar, time stood still. The fishermen didn't drink for joy, they drank to forget. Their eyes darted, avoiding Rango's stare. One of them muttered, "It's still out there." And for a second, everyone went silent, like they feared the sea could hear them. The waves lapped calmly, but something moved under the surface, slow, wide, deliberate. Rango froze. A fin sliced through the reflection like a blade. The ocean blinked, and he saw it. Something too massive, too wrong, to be real. The old man didn't speak much until Rango asked. He leaned in, breath heavy with salt and fear. "It doesn't just hunt, it remembers every scream, every drop of blood. It's not just a shark, boy, it's the sea's revenge." And then he went quiet, trembling. Morning brought nothing but dread. The tide came in red, thick, metallic. A wetsuit washed ashore, shredded, no body, no name, only the sound of gulls and the ocean, humming like it had just eaten. The tape was old, flickering with static, but in the grain, a shape moved behind the diver, huge, silent. When the screen froze on its shadow, the room went cold. That diver was never seen again. Only the ocean knows what it took that night. The boat rocked gently, like it knew what waited below. Rango adjusted his mask, heart hammering. The air felt heavy, the water was still, and as he slipped beneath, a whisper curled around him, soft, cruel, "Welcome home." Down there, everything changes. Sound disappears, light fades. Rango floated between walls of black coral and bones, something brushing past his leg. He turned, but the dark was endless, and the silence, it screamed louder than anything above. He turned, and there it was, an eye, red as rust and massive as a boat, staring from the void. It didn't blink, it didn't charge, it just watched, and in that stare, Rango felt something ancient, something alive, judging him. Panic rose faster than his breath. He kicked upward, heart racing, lungs burning. Behind him a shape, long, wide, too fast, too quiet. The surface felt 100 miles away, and the thing behind him, it wasn't chasing, it was playing. Lightning cracked across the sea. Waves rose like fists. The boat groaned. But louder than the storm was the low growl from beneath. The fin returned, slicing through water like a warship. The storm wasn't weather, it was a warning. He held the conch shell to his ear, just to hear the sea. But what answered wasn't the tide. It was voices, familiar, distant, drowned. They begged, screamed, laughed, and one whisper cut through the rest. "Your necks." The old lighthouse stood like a grave marker. Inside, it smelled of salt and rot. Rango found sharp teeth jammed into wood, hundreds. A skeleton hunched near the light, arms reaching toward the sea. Carved on the wall, one word, "Run." He drew the signs in wet sand, just as the journal said. The sky cracked open. The sea began to churn. The creature didn't fear weapons, but rituals. That's what trapped it once. And if he failed this time, it wouldn't sleep again. The sea erupted. It rose like a mountain, mouth lined with rows of impossible teeth, eyes glowing red. Not a shark, not a god, something between. The beach quaked. the air turned cold. It had come for one thing, Rango. He ran through tunnels wet with sea mist, the roar echoing behind him. Rocks crumbled, water surged, and every shadow twisted into teeth. The beast wasn't chasing, it was hurting him, like it had done to every soul before. His harpoon snapped in half useless. Blood ran down his side. He was out of weapons, out of time, but not out of will. He turned to face the waves, and from the deep, it grinned. Perched on the cliff, soaked in rain, Rango lit the flare. Behind him, the beast rose, mouth open. Endless time slowed. He whispered, "This ends now," and he jumped straight into the jaws of hell. The flare hit. Flames exploded inside the creature's mouth. It shrieked not like an animal, but like a nightmare dying. The sky lit blood red, and the ocean finally fell silent. Morning came gentle. The waves hummed again, like nothing ever happened. Rango floated, barely breathing, barely alive. The beach looked peaceful, but he knew peace never came without a price. Back in the desert, he tried to forget, but the scar burned under his skin, not pain memory. A reminder that monsters don't always live in shadows. Some live in water. Children played in the shallows, laughing. The waves curled innocently. But deep below, something watched, a red glint, a low growl, because legends don't die, and the sea, it never forgets.